Hey, what's up guys? So first and foremost, excuse all the rubbish around me and stuff like that. This is my home office. I've obviously been working from home for quite a while now due to COVID and everything like that, and also obviously before that, and I just have not had time to clean up or anything like that. So secondly, welcome back. Nice to see you guys. Not that I'm seeing you guys, but it's nice to be back in front of the camera, nice to be chatting to you guys. And I've got a couple of people asking where videos are, what's happening, if I got the Hoka shoes, which I do have them down my side here, and I'm quite excited to bring you guys a couple of updates. First and foremost, there are a couple of things that I want to go over, and I have written it down on my phone, but let's see if I can remember them. First thing is obviously training. I have entered the Ultra Trail Cape Town 100k. It's at the end of November here in Cape Town, South Africa. The shoes that I'm going to be going through are the Salomon Ultra Pro, which I have done a review on. I'm not going to go over them again, but I'll kind of show you what they look like. And then the Hoka Speedgoat 4. They haven't had a polish. They are not brand new, and I've used them pretty much for all my runs in the last sort of, let's say 3-4 months maybe, since my video came out. And the reason I didn't make a video straight after that video when I was going to go and buy them, I literally filmed in the store. I filmed walking through one of our big shopping centers here in Cape Town, did all that stuff, and I actually looked at the footage afterwards, and I was putting so much time and effort into making a review when I hadn't really even tried the shoes properly. So, and that's another one of my worst things, is when someone reviews something but it's like they've had it for 24 hours and they haven't really given it enough time to kind of settle in and to find out what kind of works for them and what doesn't. So there are a couple of things that I like about the shoes, a couple of things that I found that I perhaps dislike or that could be improved on. I'll get to that. The third thing would be the, what was it called? The Cape Town Marathon. I did it with a mate a couple of years ago, 42k marathon. It's in Cape Town here. It's a nice one. If any of you guys are in Cape Town, you want to do a marathon, perhaps for your first one, because it's extremely flat, there's not much elevation. It's from the center CBD of Cape Town, and it goes to like an area called Rondebosch, around a big sort of common, and rings back up the main road. You kind of track back. So really, really nice race to do for your first one. I did it myself. I will put my time up on the screen or whatever. It was my first marathon after doing maybe, I don't even think I did a 21k before my first marathon. I've got quite a few of you guys on Strava, which is cool because I can kind of see what long runs you're doing on the weekends, what you're doing during the week. It's just interesting. There are photos on there. I like photography. I've got an Instagram if you guys don't follow that, but people enjoy seeing photos that I take. I enjoy seeing photos that people take, exercising, doing runs and mountain bikes and triathlons all over the world. So that for me is quite a cool part of that. So I've gone over Ultra Trail Cape Town, the marathon, the training, the running shoes that I'll review. And I think that's about it for now. I will start making weekly videos. I'll come out with a schedule and kind of tell you guys in the next video, no matter what I do, what kind of schedule you guys can expect from me in the future. Thanks for sticking around. I appreciate all you guys that have subscribed to the channel. It really, really helps, obviously, me see who's interested in it. And if I've looked on, like 10% of people that watch the videos are subscribed, so it kind of helps obviously both ways and kind of gets the channel out there, which is why I'm sitting here doing this. So yeah, nice to be back, stoked to be back in front of the camera, stoked to chat to you guys. If you've got any questions or anything, I've helped quite a few people out down below with regards to the Garmin watches or anything I use. I've just pulled my phone out, I've got a couple of notes about stuff, but I think what I'll do is I'll start with the shoes actually, because that's going to be the Salomon Ultra Pros. You've seen the review on my channel. It was a different color. They're exactly the same. They've changed nothing. Let's put those over there. And then the Hoka Speedgoat 4s. These ones, they're like the black and gold sort of ones. I don't know if that's in focus. If you guys are just watching, I'll put like a timestamp or whatever on if you don't want to watch the whole video and me ramble about races and sports and all sorts of stuff. The Speedgoat 4s I'm enjoying more than the Ultra Pros. I like quite a lot about them. Everything that I've heard about them has been not false, but I've heard some stuff about them, people complaining about certain stuff, and it hasn't happened to me yet. So yeah, all good. Go out and grab a pair if you want. I don't have any codes, promos. I bought them with my own money. I will be buying another pair, be pretty much a couple of months before the race, just so I can kind of wear them in and have another pair. Yeah, they've been great. Now, I'm assuming you guys have watched the review of these. Now, these shoes for me feel like, and bear in mind, I'm not a shoe expert. I'm just kind of telling you roughly in kind of layman's terms how I feel. These feel hard, rigid, firm, nice, sort of, you can feel what's under your foot very well. And if I'm doing short trail runs or anything on sort of hard surfaces or anything like that, Jeep track, stuff like that, these are great. Really, really nice. In comparison, these, when I first put them on, I was walking along the sidewalk and I've got a bit of a bounce in my step already, or so I've been told. And I feel like this sort of makes that worse. You can feel the cushion underneath this. Now, this is a really good thing for a lot of other places, but on pavement, on road, I can feel a bit of a squish. So it almost, to me, in my head then feels like I'm going slower because I'm a little bit more squishy, and that's kind of taking some of the push of my foot, some of that energy away into the sole. Now, this is a maximal sort of massive cushion shoe. If you look at that, I don't know how well, surely you can see pretty well, but you look at that, and then you look at like that in comparison, totally different shoes. So it's not really fair to put these two against each other like this and say that one is better for a specific reason than the other, because while they'll both be used for like ultra races and stuff, they are very different. And I find you'll kind of know eventually, if you've tried a couple of shoes, which one personally you'd go for. But it is very cushioned, you can feel it, and weirdly enough, I almost feel like I could be a little bit slower in these, but my times are all faster. Now, I've tested this numerous times. I've gone on Jeep track, I've gone on tar, I've done road runs with this, I've done all sorts of stuff, and this could be because it coincides with my diet that I was been on the last couple of months, and I've cut down from, I was like 82 down to 80, and now I'm hovering around 75, so this is kind of where I stay for races. Might lose a kg or two come the race just from training, but I'm pretty happy with where I am at the moment. So with dropping sort of 5, 6, 7 kgs over the last sort of 6 months or whatever, I'm going to be lighter, I'm going to be faster up hills, I'm going to feel lighter and faster, my times will improve. So that kind of goes hand in hand with getting these shoes. So I can't say if it's these shoes or if it's a bit of both, so take that with a pinch of salt. But they feel really, really squishy and good, but not too much so that you feel like you're trotting around in mud, if you know what I mean. They are very supportive. I do like the uppers and all that stuff. There was a section that, I don't know if it came apart a little bit or was coming apart a little bit. I'm sure there was. I think I might have actually shoe glued it a bit right in the beginning. But it looked like at some point it was like the upper was kind of coming apart a little bit, but it's actually not too bad. I think it was this front piece over here. I might have caught it on something. It kind of started coming out. They're a very polished, very good looking shoe, and they do look pretty wrecked after not too much sort of trail use, whereas these kind of keep their shape and kind of look a little bit more hardier. And if you are feeling uppers and stuff, the coating around the top of these with these wings and stuff like that, it's a more sturdy, sort of harder shoe that might last you a little bit longer upper-wise than these Speedgoat 4s. I will still use these shoes. I'll do them for shorter runs, I'll do them for hikes, I'll do them for hard pack sort of stuff. Excellent grip. One of the reasons why in the beginning I was apprehensive of changing shoes is because I was doing a lot of hill repeats up Clip in the winter. It's busy raining outside at the moment now. There's a lot of rock, and there's a lot of slippery wet rock and mossy sort of little downhill streams and stuff like that as you come off the back of Table Mountain, and that's where I do training. So you've got to understand that if you guys are somewhere in the world that's partly desert, or you're in the wetlands, or you're in England or anywhere kind of European that's a bit more boggier and like soggy green belts, stuff like that, you're going to have a different experience to me when it comes to shoes, obviously. So where I am here at Table Mountain, there's a lot of loose rock, there's a lot of slippery stuff, and I did hear before that these were less grippy, and I don't know really where I heard that, and I think maybe they were talking about something else, because these things make a noise when you first get them on road and pavement, and they make a noise for quite a long time. This Vibram Mega Grip on the bottom is ridiculously grippy. I've never slipped out on these. Now, I've slipped a few times on these on really rare occasions and stuff like that. These grip-wise are brilliant. They are the benchmark that I was using for every other shoe. They grip to everything. I've never had a problem, but these are even more grippy, I would say. Really, really sure-footed underneath on rocks, absolutely anything, slippery stuff, winter, rain, wet weather, sand on top of rock, anything. These have been brilliant. So grip-wise, absolutely nothing to worry about. Comfort-wise, they've been really, really comfortable. I did change socks in them, and I feel like the inside of these feel a little bit more rigid than these. These feel a lot softer. I don't know, you can't really see it, but it's almost like you can mull these with your hands a little bit easier. This is a bit harder of a shoe inside. The tongue of this shoe is very thin. They could have maybe done a little bit of padding or something. It's never kind of hurt me or anything like that, but it's just a plastic piece that's really thin. So, I mean, and this is pretty padded. Bear in mind that your quick draw laces and stuff stay in this piece of your Salomon shoes, which I do miss, as you can see with my knot on the top here. I really do miss this lace system. It's just easy. I set it, I can tweak it on the trail, and besides the issue that I had in the beginning with one coming loose, since it's been repaired, this lace system I like better. I don't like tying shoelaces. I've got to untie the shoelace to put my shoe on, and then I've got to retie it, and then it might be a little bit too tight, or halfway through a run I've got to kind of adjust it. So really don't like these sort of shoelaces. That's not an issue of the make of the shoe. Majority of shoes come with these laces, but I do prefer the laces on the Salomons. Now, yeah, the uppers are pretty good. They haven't worn out yet. My feet normally come through the outsides eventually, so it's got some nice padding on the outsides around here. And on the toe box and stuff, it's got a nice sturdy front toe with some grip in the front here, and the same with the grip in the back. So I don't know, if you're going downhill a lot, you sometimes can hook on with the back foot a little bit, so it helps you out on steep sort of stuff. Really, really great pair of shoes, and I will be sticking to these shoes for the foreseeable future. I'm bummed that it took me this long to try them out, and I mean, okay, I was 82 kgs when I kind of started running and stuff, and I cut down. I hover. If I'm doing a lot of German weight training and stuff like that, I can go back up to 80 pretty fast. But if I'm training for races, I kind of get myself down to about 74, 75. So with that, I'm not in the 60s or anything like that. I'm not super skinny and stuff like that. And I find I just like something with extra cushioning. I think for your joints and your bones and your ligaments and your legs and everything, it just makes me feel good. And whether it's in my head or not, like placebo sort of effect, it helps me out. So going downhill at speed and just motoring over stuff, the cushion in these shoes have been absolutely brilliant. You can definitely feel it. You can feel it going uphill. And while I thought I'd be slower uphill because of the comfort of these shoes, I've been faster up everything that I've done in these shoes, way faster than I was in these shoes. Obviously, as I said before, disclaimer, diet, all that stuff. But yeah, these are really, really a brilliant pair of shoes, and I will be getting another pair. So yeah, it's not, if you guys do want a more in-depth review, I can do some research, I can get these shoes out, I can take proper photos, I can kind of do close-ups, I can tell you guys more about all of the features of them, stuff like that. But I think for this channel, you guys most of the guys that are following me and stuff are either way better at trail running, they know way more than I do, or they're just kind of browsing the internet looking for a little bit of sort of information on some products and some runs and stuff like that. So yeah, I would definitely recommend these, try them out. And yeah, I'm a UK 10 in these. I don't even know if this one's still living, but I'm a UK 9.5 in these. So I went half a size up in these and they're perfect. Not saying you'll be half a size up, just rather go and try them on. That's, I find, the best way, because I had to try on, I was very stuck between a size down and this size, or even this size and a size up actually. And I spent about half an hour in the store trying each on, walking like laps around, trying to figure it out. But eventually got to these. So I think try them on, especially if you're going from a different brand completely. That'll kind of help you out a lot. Okay, then moving on to the Ultra Trail Cape Town and my training. So the Ultra Trail Cape Town in November, you guys know when it is. Training wise, I've read various books. I've qualified as a personal trainer years ago. I've done training plans for people. I've done training plans for myself, all that sort of stuff. So I kind of know what I'm doing training wise. And one day, if I do a 100-miler, I probably would benefit from getting an actual running trainer to train me up. So that's something that eventually, maybe in a year or so, I'd look at. But when it comes to training for 100, training for a marathon and stuff like that, I think I've got it dialed. And I will go over again, I have done in other videos, other aspects other than your actual run training, such as nutrition, gear, all that sort of stuff. I'll make another video on it because I've kind of learned a few things along the way since my last video before the 65K, and I'll put that up on my channel. What I'm doing training wise now is I've split it up into 4 weeks. So my recovery week will be my 4th week, and then I'll have 3 build weeks. So each week I'll kind of up the mileage, up the intensity, change out different aspects of, say, speed work or hill repeats or some long distance runs, back-to-back sort of things, stuff like that. So there are a lot of things I can give you guys tips on. There are a lot of stuff you'll read in the trail running books and stuff like that, the top rated ones on Amazon, ebooks, stuff like that. So I won't go into that in this video, but that is what I'm doing training wise. If you guys are wanting to follow my Strava and kind of you can see what I do and I post up pictures and stuff like that, you can do that. I wouldn't copy someone else's training just off Strava. I'd kind of sit down either with a trainer or an instructor or someone that's done races before, or yourself, and go over free plans online and stuff like that and try and put together something that works for you. And just a disclaimer, whatever you find online is made for the masses, so you're obviously going to have to tweak things and kind of adjust things as you go along. No one plan is going to suit one person. Also, other things that I will touch on and go on, if you're sick, if family stuff comes up, if you've got to kind of put the training to one side for a bit, you've got to kind of keep that in mind, that stuff's going to happen. But this all sounds like really good ideas for other videos, so I'll save that for the weeks to come. My training is going well, as I say, with the diet. I think I touched on my diet in a couple of the other videos. I've cut down now. So I'm at a good weight for myself. I'm not doing too much physical strength training, but I do yoga 2 or 3 times a week, which if you guys want, I mean, I was always a guy that never did a lot of stretching. Like touch your toes is a struggle sort of vibe. And yoga has been really, really cool. I do it with my wife. I do heated yoga 2 or 3 times a week. And it relaxes your muscles, it stretches you out. There's a lot of movement in it, depending on which one you do. There's a lot of balance, like single leg balance stuff. And I do skate occasionally with a mate of mine, I skate down to the shops and stuff. So everything kind of works together. So I quite like finding things that kind of work in, what is the word I'm looking for? In conjunction with whatever other sports and things you're doing. So there are a lot of things you can do like yoga with your ultra trail running or strength training and or both. That will help you out. So check out that sort of stuff. I can also make videos on that. Going from training to what I was actually doing, I was sitting looking at a training plan I made for myself the other day, and I looked at a couple of weeks down the line and obviously build up my long runs. And the long run that I do, that's about 42 Ks, which is a marathon distance, is on the same weekend as the Cape Town Marathon. Now, I did that with a mate a few years ago and I really enjoyed it. It's flat. If you're going to get a good time and you're a really good marathon runner and stuff like that, it's a flat course. It's going to be a fast course. It's going to be really nice to do. There's not much hill. I mean, on the way back up to town, you're going up the main road. So if you do live in Cape Town, if you drive from Rondebosch up into town, you're obviously going up slightly. But it's nothing like going over Boys Drive or Red Hill or Black Hill near Simonstown side or Oak Savach, or the Two Oceans or anything like that. It's flat pretty much, which is good for beginners, good for you guys that are getting into it. If you've done several 21s and you feel that you've been training up and you're ready for a 42, give it a try. It's a nice one to do. What I want you guys to let me know in the comments down below, if you think I should, now I'm stuck between the two and I know good reasons for doing either. I can either focus on getting now bearing in mind it's a long distance run that I'm training for trails. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm not doing it on the trails. And what you should do is all your long distance runs and as much training as possible you should do on trails if you are racing on trails. If I was doing it on road, then I just do road stuff the whole time, maybe some trails just for fun. But you should always train on the terrain, or as close to the terrain that you will be racing. The same sort of elevation and stuff. So I thought either on one hand, and you guys can let me know down below, I'm going to do the race as a marathon, just in marathon clothes, no backpack, no other bells and whistles, just do it as is and have it as a marathon under my belt and enjoy it. Or on the other hand, and I've seen quite a lot of people do this back in the day, when I wasn't even running, is I could pack my full pack, full water bottle, 1.5 liters or 2 liters of water. I can have my gels, my phone, my MP3 player, whatever else I need. MP3 player. I haven't had an MP3 player for years. You guys know what I mean. All my kit, my trail running kit, obviously road shoes, and then I can run it like that as a training run, just to kind of wear my pack and kind of have all that weight of my gear on me and stuff like that, which I would be doing if I was doing a 42 trail run, like a long distance run, as my weekend run. So those are the two things I'm kind of deciding if I should do it as a trail run or if I should do it as like a road run. Yeah, let me know down below what you think. If you've got any insight, it will be probably a lot more fun doing it without, maybe, because I'm not running on trails, I'm not running in trail shoes, and I have spent a lot of time with my gear and my packs and stuff like that. I feel that it's really important, obviously, and I've said this in other videos, to train with the stuff that you're going to race with. Don't go pre-race day to registration and buy a new pair of socks, a new pair of shoes, a new top, all that stuff, and then come to race day when you try it out, it just doesn't work, or it chafes, or it hurts you. So that's training. That's what I'm planning to do for the Cape Town Marathon. That's what the shoes look like, and that's kind of the reasons why I'm back and why I'm making this video. Just to say what's up to you guys. I hope your training is going well. I hope you and your families are all safe. Everything around the world is still absolutely crazy. Things are still shut in a lot of countries. Here in Cape Town, we've still got a curfew of 9 p.m. Luckily, we're allowed out all day and stuff. We don't have that weird like exercise thing that we had like a year or so ago. So we can all get out and train and stuff. You've just masks and all sorts of stuff. So a couple of obstacles, but as long as you guys are looking after yourself and all safe and getting your training in, then all is well. What I will do is, when I'm editing this video, I'll go through some of the points. There's some interesting points and stuff that I've got a lot of information on that I picked up. So if you guys subscribe, then I will make future videos kind of based on that sort of stuff. As I said again, if there's anything you'd like to see or anything, let me know in the comments down below. Say what's up, let me know what training you're doing or where in the world you're from. I find it really interesting, and if you're on Strava as well and your photos and everything, very, very cool. If you're in Cape Town, keep warm. It's freezing cold outside and it's really windy and rainy and stuff, but I'm actually doing some travel. I'm going to Durban. That's just like kind of up our coast. So I'm going to be getting some runs in there. So hopefully I'll take the action camera with me. I can take you guys on a run there like old times. And yeah, that's all good. I'll catch you guys next week. Have a good week and I'll see you soon. Cheers.